need all the stakeholders to ensure that once you want to achieve one thing as a team, as a club, they need to put in one direction for you to succeed. Hello and welcome, beautiful Thursday edition. You'll want to know what those words are meant for you this evening. And the topic to discuss mostly is the ongoing situation at one of the biggest clubs in the land, Bafana Highlanders, where there have been talks about suggestions from the directors club, Ali Homongwe, suggesting that the club should be registered as a company, where he believes in that interest the club will get sponsorships and follow all club licensing. Now, talks have been taking place within the country saying that those who are representing the club, known as patrons, are not willing to, allow the club to be registered as a company. So there's all of that talks that have been happening in the Kingdom of Eswatini. What are the supporters thinking about the topic, and what are some of the journalists also thinking about the topic? Because we have a special guest, one of the well-known sports journalists in the Kingdom later on, just to give us also an overview on that issue. But for now, I'll leave that as a secret. Otherwise, that is going to be the main topic. We'll have specific guests coming from Bafana Highlanders on the side of the patrons and on side of the Bafana Highlanders Supporters Committee. Later on, of course, not forgetting M10 Premier League action resumed over the last weekend. They'll be continuing over this coming weekend. Of course, a lot is going to be taking place. Now, you need a glass of water for this discussion, because you have to understand that this is done in the interest of the club, if you love Bafana Highlanders, and this is done in the interest of ensuring that a team is improving and nothing is disturbed, as one of the biggest teams in the land. Fabrice Msonera, your host this evening, in the absence of your usual host, Patrice Msibi, and the absence of our in-house analyst, Linda Lamin. Of course, we continue to see how things are happening in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Without wasting any time, singasho ukuthi ngivele ngihlele naye babe Musa Masuku, lo singasho ukuthi ukhulumela liside lema patrons, mabhalani lomkhulu lokhulumela patrons of Bafana Highlanders. Uhamba na babe Kenneth Dlamini lokhulumela chairman of Bafana Highlanders supporters. Cala ngayo mhlanje uvusele.
Siyabonga Fabrice kusimema la sivusele nesive sivusele nabo beBafana Highlanders benkunzi emnyama.
Alright. Ngosi.
Siyabonga Mr. Fabrice. Sivusele sive samaswati, sivusele iqembu elikhulu lekuyibafana Highlanders eSwatini.
Yeah. The temper in the studio, but nothing is bad. We are here to talk about one of the biggest team. Things are happening well for the team. Maybe starting to you, Ngos, the club currently, the performance. Chingebalanze, and happy, number 2 in the league. You haven't lost a game, only 2 draws. 14 points in 5-6 games. Kuhamba kahle so far.
Ngivumelana nawe Mr. Fabrice. Hayi konke kusahamba kahle nesijabulile ngeperformance lesiyibonako, because nangabe uqale kanjena kuye kunike lo mdlandla going forward ukuthi I need to engage the next gear because ukuthi lengikubhekile at the end of the day ngikuzuza ngicabanga ukuthi abanye start jabula kakhulu.
And the timing goes nawubuka ukuthi balanze sibabuye ekhatsi enkundleni bayakhona ukubukela ama games, and that's when the performance is taking place. The coincidence. Maybe this could be a season.
Yeah, we're very positive that this could be our season after a long time. And coming back of the supporters to the stadium, I think it's going to play a major role in achieving what we want to achieve as the biggest team in the land. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokuba khona kwabo as a player number 12 kunetinto letiningi lokudawenda ukuthi badlali bethu babe encouraged ukuthi bakhona ku-achieve.
All right. Yes. That small talk with, of course, Kenneth Dlamini was meant to test the waters, to make sure that as supporters, they're in a good mood. The issue at hand is the issue of, the club itself. As Secretary General, singasho ukuthi ukhulumela ama patrons in Bafana Highlanders, kwaqhamuka sicelo ku Director Ali Homongwe. Ucela ukuthi ni register a club as a company. Sifiso sakhe ngekumuva. Later on we'll hear from his words. We had a chat with him as this show Libhola Eswatini, and he explained why he suggested for the club to be registered as a company and what was his wish. Kuletin vratvetako vetinza baye ukuthi licembu litakhona ukuthola more sponsorships and grow as a team. Kufika kwalesicelo babe Masuku. as my patrons, how did you receive first the request and the suggestion from director?
No, asibonge Fabrice, lesicelo lokhuluma ngaso lesaqhamuka ku director wethu Ali Homongwe. Safika sasijabulela kakhulu and sasi accepta ukuthi indlela lesingahamba ngayo nyela. Looking at the team ukuthi i-team lenzala le sekufuneka naye sisibukele i-trend ethi lamanye ama teams ahamba kanjani. So samukela vele kakhulu sajabula and wathi masacela ukuthi asentele process yokuregister le club as a company savele saqala ngaleso sikhathi. Into ke letinengi ativami kwendeka ngaleso sikhathi mawufisile. Yes, but sakucala vele sakwenda lokho and ngicabanga ukuthi inyalo isesicishe sesemaphethelweni akho. Kakhulu nje ngoba abecelile le company as patrons savuma ukuthi siyamnika vele company and we've already done that. Lo sekusele inyalo ukuthi seende le process ngoba phela lento kufanele kuhambe uyisebenzisa le kahulumende angathi kuse commerce
Ministry of Commerce
uregister
Trading
le company.
license.
Yes, sikuko nje manje siyakusebenta vele kakhulu asikahlali phansi and siyeva buhlungu lokuthi as director yena asebentela kangaka siphathela kahle le club. Lama wishes zakhe ukuthi le tinto tsheshe tendeke masinyane atendeke and siva buhlungu vele kakhulu ukuthi akwendeki ngalendlela la kufuthi akwende ngayo but samthembisa nanyalo siyasithembisa sive ukuthi sitamendela wahomongela la kufisile.
Masube ngihamba now ngisukujwa because I think just to make sure that we get everything and sambe with step by step.
Yes.
Niya move nacela ukuthi the club should be registered as a company.
Yes.
Sifika kanjani kule mbiko lebekhona ukuthi you were not okay with suggestions? Akuzange kube khona noma bekumahemhem nje.
No, ngawukhuluma liqiniso Fabrice, akuzange kube khona lokuthi asifuni. Because wawabeke ama reasons akhe. Besides logo, i-Highlanders about 5 years ago yayi prepare ishale ndzaba yokwenda i-company and then yasiyaphela futhi because besivele siyifuna le company. So akusilo liqiniso ukuthi salile sasifuna kumnika i-company. Savuma kusukela ekuqaleni.
Now siyafika sifika kuma patrons eMbabane Highlanders. Supporters, we know how key they are for Imbabane Highlanders. Sifika kini Nkosi lesicelo. Nisimukela nitsini njengema supporters?
No, it was very simple because actually, like he is saying, Baba Masogo, it's something that has been on the pipeline. So nasiva ukuthi kunesicelo lesinjengalesi from director azange kube likhona more especially because nyalo we living in a corporate world lapho khona into vele iyashintsha, everything is dynamic and uma ubuka lokuthi even ama requirements are FIFA na CAF vele afuna ukuthi lama teams abe registered as a company, so we didn't have any bad feelings about the request ya director. Yes.
Ngosi ngihamba nawo because sitawuvumelana ukuthi sonke siyalandzela tindzaba, sifunza maphepha, siyalandzela bo social media and everything. Sisho ukuthi lobe kukhona ukuthi Director Ali is threatening to leave his players if my patrons angakhone kuvuma ukuthi register ngecompany. Sithi logo kwayecamba kuma supporters athi abamunike la kufunako. Anizange nini nicela ukuthi cha sicela nimlalele Ali kule suggestion yakhe. Because kwayekavela ukuthi the patrons should listen to Ali's request and the fans were complaining to say why are they not listening to him, because he's helping the team so far. Anizange nibe nenkinga nje ngale decision ema patrons ukuthi ngathi bafake resistance abafune kuhamba nalesicelo.
Okay, uma ukhuluma ngale resistance angathi ukuthi mhlambe kwefika kwatholakala kanjani, because according to my understanding ayizange ibe khona le resistance. Angathi mhlambe kwaba khona other issues lekenda ngathi mhlambe kune delay in, because from the onset we've been together with my patrons working on this issue. So ngicabanga ukuthi sathi nasiqala kwababethu lokungathi mhlambe ukhona lo thatha la dakho.
All right.
Yes.
One question goes, Babe Masuku, before we listen to himself, explaining his side of the story, because lesinye isikhathi kuyadingeka ukuthi sibe fair, factual and fair. One question to you, Babe Masuku, is to maybe ask, there was a meeting yesterday.
Yes.
I don't know if it's for public knowledge or it was still private. And then it's in you. What was the decision? Mhlawumbe ungasichazela ukuthi benikhuluma ini itolo emhlanganweni.
No, Fabrice, ngiyabonga, itolo vele sibe nawo umhlangano wayo lenzaba yokuformisha i-company. And what we did, we agreed sisonke singama patrons akhona nema supporters chairman ukuthi vele alistamniketa le club vele.
All right.
The kind of company la ifunayo simniketa yona vele.
No conditions.
No conditions.
No conditions.
Yeah. The problem leba khona ukuthi if waka i-company ubese kuba khona tinshwana nje tincane letilungiswayo lapha nalapha hayi kuse asifuni kumniketa. And as a club sine constitution sina lesiguidayo sicale sibuke yona ukuthi isebenzisa kanjani, and then kuformisha le company is very easy. Sibese siyakhuluma na Ali siyabonisa ukuthi from here sesibheka kuphi. That's all. Because thina we are very happy ngendlela la support ngayo le club umnumzane Homong. And angiboni ukuthi sizathu singaba yini ukuthi singala kumnika lo lakufunako, because we are all happy i-club idlala kahle and asihlupheki mbamba.
Now, without wasting any time, of course, we proceed, and the guests are still in the studio. They will also get give us more explanation to what's happening. I will give this chance to Ali Homong. We had an interview with him. Libhola Eswatini show had an interview with him and Joe Cole, where he's based in the Republic of South Africa, and he explained his side of the story, and he's aware that this call, of course, was going to be broadcasted, and this was his side of the story. Ali Homongwe, the director of Mbabane Highlanders.
Because I don't remember threatening anybody. I'm factual and I'm honest, and it's for the good reason, and it's one of the serious complaints. I don't want to work in the environment where people are not complying. Remember when I get to Highlanders, the team was not complying. People were getting salary with their hands. How are you going to trade? Where are you getting money? You are giving people cash on their hands. And sometimes you take 4 months to 5 months without paying the same players. So we need to be clear and unpack each and every things from the shelf and pack to the shelf according to the index. Why I'm saying that is this issue of I heard that I'm threatening. I'm not threatening. The only thing that I was saying when I come there, I make sure that the team must be professional and comply so that we can complain late. And this thing of registration is one of the serious complaints. I don't want to be seen running the team and tomorrow they say that you never comply. Remember when we comply for I don't know, it's a cup license. We have to work very hard. Going up and down, calling the accountant. Some stage I'm using my company's a balance sheet. I don't know. Maybe we are seeing things in a different way. When I'm saying let's comply, it seems I'm threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. And I never say for the correction, because I'm here, I can't defend myself, but I'm okay because I know that I'm fighting for the truth. For not even for compliance with staff and to get sponsored. What they are doing, they are saying we grant Ali his wish, but they don't put it in writing. They just talking. And the most disturbing story, it was when they were having a meeting alone, discussing my future without including. I saw them that Panyasa will represent me. Panyasa will be there to know everything, where and to supersede that the process must go smooth. But they don't invite him. Sometimes they don't put some quorum. I never see something like this, to be honest, since I was born.
And of course, that was the call. Singasho ukuthi lihlelo lebhola Eswatini lihlale phasi lakhulumisana naye Ali Khomonge, director welicembu leMbabane Highlanders. Lethumbo tibonako ke nethithombe singasho ukuthi at some point when Mbabane Highlanders when Somhlo Stadium of course was still on course and then explaining how maybe he loves the supporters as he was moving in the stadium. Now, Babe Masuku, song esimvile.
Yes.
Uyachaza ukuthi he's not threatening you, but I think one thing I picked from what you said and what he just explained would see you as patrons of Mbabane Highlanders, which he respects your position, you are granting him, you are granting your wish, but you are not doing it. I think that's where his concern is.
Okay.
Yes.
No, ngicabanga ukuthi le point okhuluma Fabrice uqinisile. Like I said before, it's a meeting itolo, and we granted him his wish. And then the next point of call, ibe namuhla. Lapha sihlangane nalo mmeli wakhe eBhanyaza. And then samtshela ke eBhanyaza ukuthi ngiyastand sethu sesikuphi manje. Before sibhale incwadi sibhalele yena manje. Because he representative yakhe lo Bhanyaza. Ngidawuphinze ngibuyele emuva nje kancane ukuthi makakhala ngokuthi masihlangena simbiti iBhanyaza. Sizathu sokuthi singambiti iBhanyaza ukuthi as a team sisodwa sisekhaya sisakhuluma lokuthi what are we taking I mean between lama companies lang 3 public, private and senkohlwele usukuthiwa yini before sibite lo mmeli wakhe sikwendile lokho vele sahlangana sisodwa and then the following week sasiyabuya sikhuluma naye eBhanyaza sathi as a team sibuka naku naye wawafaka ke ama points akhe ukuthi okay senda naku ucabanga ukuthi Ali ufise akwendeke kanje. And then we took this decision back to the patrons itolo. Sisawabeka ukuthi okay ummeli wa Ali uthi thina besifike nalokho. So what do we do? And then I decided as my patrons, I said, no, let's give him the team. Let's give him the company. That's all. And namhlanje we reported back kulo mmeli wakhe. This afternoon sisuka khona nje manje ohlangana naye.
All right.
Yes.
So now uthi Masuku ngita kuwe Ngosi. Now uthi Masuku uthi you've now granted him a wish.
Yes.
It's the wish lesibone kanengi levela kuma social media maphephandaba ukuthi you are saying it's okay, but I think la kuvetako ukuthi akube factual akubhalwe singavumelani imvo besise ithatha 6 months because at some stage if I remember kwavela ukuthi the suggestion iyavela back in June before kwaqala timbo tavela even but back in June this got 6 months now. I think ukhala ngalo ukuthi solo 6 months the response ayikacamuke.
As much as we understand ukuthi sesiphutile sesikwendile kodwa manje and lesikhathi asisithe kakhulu sikwenda itolo nanamuhla so you will get the letter la ifunayo yena anytime.
All right.
Yes.
Ngiyavakala Masuku. Ngosi mhlawumbe nje on the side of supporters bakhona labahlala ekhaya nje babukela lihlelo nje bathi buta ukuthi usebendile Khomonge kuya ngalokuthi opinion yakhe itawutsini Ngosi, but for you as supporters you said before the interview that you don't have a problem, you feel like it's the right decision. How soon do you want this to happen? Uyayiveta Masuku ukuthi vele the wish has been granted, kube khona umhlangano namuhla together with Mr. Bongani Mhloli, the lawyer who is representing Ali Khomonge, but how soon do you think as supporters nangabe vele niyakuvuma, how soon do you want this to happen?
Okay, I like lo ukuthi usho lo ukuthi we would like yes okay kube bekwendeka ngicabanga ukuthi nabo abantu abadzala kube bebatendela bokungaba into lengaba very urgent as per inazana yakhe request yakhe lokuthi kunetinto lesetimbambile ukuthi mhlambe ngaba uyakhona lokuthi ati achieve kube bese ikhona le company. So nanathi is our prayer lokuthi kube into letakwendeka masinyane, but ke kunanaku lokunye lokufuna ukuthi sikunake siku understand lokuthi before iHighlander beyingasiyo company. Yes. So this is coming with constitutional obligations. True. Yes, lekufuna ukuthi sithi sikwenda yebo kona kuya Russia we need lokuthi vele kurashek but kunaleti into lokufuna ukuthi sibe very careful as we attend to this singathi khansi mhlambe kusasa sesithi kube ukhanje ukuthi asisakhona ukuthi kunazana sikulungise lokutabe sokonakela but our prayer ukuthi kwendeke masinyane as soon as possible.
Sisa emaphathweni babe masuku kule interview uvethile babe Khomongwe ukuthi niyeni bambe emhlangano angathi noma we are aware of what he said. I don't know if umvile ukuthi kuye kube khona imihlangano angisho ukuthi uba khona kule mihlangano but kuye kube khona imihlangano lapho khona kudiscusswa ifuture yakhe angathi noma uyacala ukuva yini is it something new to you kuliqiniso yini kwaye kwendeka kuliqiniso yini ukuthi at some point bakhona abantu labahlala ba discuss ifuture yakhe mhlawumbe yena uvangaza ukuthi mhlawumbe it's kumendela angabe comfortable.
No, Fabrice, you see, my patrons, Mbabana Elders, are the supreme body yale club. Mina njengamabhalane wayelo body leyo. Good ngishona umhlangano last is ubambe khona sithi sifuna ukuhambisa Ali. Ungathi buta ukuthi ungathi ufuna ukuhambisa Ali uthembe ini. Because Ali is doing a great job like clubini uyasupporta kakhulu and good kungakwendeke lokho. None of the patrons awabamba umhlangano ukuthi awamfuni Ali and I suppose ne supporters committee ayizange iubambe njengoba uthi nyalo le yonke imihlangano lesibamba kwenyalo kule issue le usuka khona chairman wema supporters siyam invite avela hlala akhona ateoba up to date nathi into lesikhuluma ngoba kude lesikufihlile into lenhle lento ngali but I would like to assure him ukuthi there's never been a meeting lapho kuthiwa khona kodwa alise sesingamhambisa kanjani never maybe bangawubamba kwangathi bangabita abantu because ngimlo babitako labantu ukuthi yasihambeni sobamba umhlangano but I think iruma nje nathi abantu labafuna kusicabanisa ayikho vele.
Usakhuluma ngale ruma babe masuku mhlawumbe ucabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe in terms of a breach of confidence kukhona nje mhlawumbe nase kuhamba information along the way besiphuma gabi to the public mostly to the Mbabana supporters nangabe kune call personally babe masuku ukhulume na Ali Khomongwe do you think at some point kukhona indlela mhlawumbe information ifika kabi kubalanzeli ikakhulu kathi bodlamini nabalanzeli benje beMbabana Highlanders ukhanza ukuthi i distorted kanzi originally benikhulume kahle because maybe it didn't show in that interview but ushitwe na ukuthi there's no bad blood now I think at some point off record wangitshela ukuthi there's no bad blood so do you think maybe kukhona lokwendekako sometimes ukhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe information ihambile yaphuma kabi in terms of making sure ukuthi ma supporters abe worried ukuthi akukanzi bamendani Ali o Ali kanzi wendani ma patrons.
No ngicabanga ukuthi vele iyendeka lento ukuthi for instance nje mangikhuluma na Ali nesobabili mhlambe bese ngicocela the next person ukuthi besikhuluma na Ali bese uhambisa le information ayihambise kabi kuma platforms singanawo thina lapha singaphinde sithi vikele khona ukuthi no akusilo liqiniso lokhu naku lokuliqiniso but because bantu bayathanda nje ukukhuluma angathi noma usuka zonda le Highlander into umuntu noma usuka endani because ebholeni setela kutojabula and if wena utawuta nama ulterior motives ukuthi ulaya le Mbabana Highlanders ngeke uyilaya iMbabana Highlanders siyawuhlala ikhona siyayishiya lapha thina but njena kude okubi lesikhuluma kuthina na Ali either me noma chairman wami noma chairman noma supporters nothing ine information bese idistortwa ngabantu nje.
Ngosi ukhona lokucela kungena.
No okay kuloko la sithanda ukukhuluma ngako masuku okay sibantu sehlukene ukhona le tawukhanda ukuthi nangabe khona ngikwendile evekathi Mr Fabrice it's okay uyancomeka but athi bamasuku ngalana yathi Kennedy lokhu la kwendawo akusiko so asingahlanje singasiko eManti so but ke ngicabanga ukuthi the majority yebalandzeli beHighland noma ke if not everyone is very happy ngekunazana ngekubakhona kwakhe Khomongwe so uma ngabe like lo butako ukuthi kukhona yini mhlambe ama meetings ekukhuluma bad about him nangabe akhona ngicabanga ukuthi sisuke ukukhulumeka etindzaweni lesehlathini letingeke develop because I don't think ukuthi kukhona lokungenda ukuthi yes lokungenda ukuthi inyalo singakhuluma and sibe netinjongo tekumsusa because he has been doing good so
it makes sense but masuku savalisa just in the good spirit of the patrons and the chairman usithembisile ukuthi vele for the viewers, sengikhulumela on behalf of the viewers, especially laba batsanza le team, the company will be registered.
Yes.
So sicala umnyaka lomusha wa 2022. When can we have that headline emaphepheni noma la ku TV ukuthi cha Highlanders now a company? I'm not saying mhla 9 January yabo 11:30, but nje usinike i-prediction ukuthi cha ngeke kushaye nyabekisa nje inyanga yamabhasi next year April, maybe it's far usaphera nje bibithwana January ndabe nicetsile.
Angeke ngisisho isikhathi, but we're doing everything in our power usesikwende masinyane. It's a pity nje kwanya secala ama holidays abo December.
True.
But into besithi sicala kusasa kutawubonakala ukuthi kuhamba kufika kuphi ke, but njena siyathemba isale lo January lo yana angisho ukuthi nga January, but lo 2022 ufuna simcale kahle sijabulile yonke inkunzi emnyama ijabulile.
The supporters, one word before we leave, Nkosi. One word you can tell the supporters, assuring the supporters, assuring Labatsanza the team, everything.
Thanks so much for the invitation once again, Mr. Fabrice. Okay, we appeal to the supporters whilst we are trying by all means as soon as possible. Sicela the patience with them, and nangabe kukhona information letsingakala kwesicela ukuthi bayithole from the right sources to avoid ukuthi sikhanze sesi exaggerate ukuthi kwendeka lokho mhlambe kube kungendeke, and mhlambe on a parting note, ngicela ukuthi ema supporters eHighlander emndeni lomkhulu sikhumbule ukuthi iCovid ikhona, asiqhubeke sibambisane ekutheni sijove sigcine kanjalo nemithetho yayo iCovid, naloko ukuthi ke sesibuyele ema stadiums singama supporters asikhumbule ukuthi asikabuyeli to tarnish the image of the team, sibuyelele ukuthi si support singabonakali sesingena etindzabeni temsindo. Is an appeal to our supporters. We know sibanengi and behavior yethu nayo itawuqhamuka ngendlela letinengi letehlukene, but we appeal for inazana calm.
All right. Thank you very much, Lamin. And you have a big game on Sunday against Moneni Pirates at Mavuso Sports Center. 3:30, they'll be playing against Moneni Pirates. They are hoping for 3 points. Babe Masu, sikuvalelis in fair, factual, ngiyathemba ukuthi sebajabulile with the response, and just let's keep encouraging them to be at the stadiums and watch the game.
Yes. Cha siyabonga abalandeli bembabana Highlanders, siyacela ukuthi ni nake le club yenu ngeno le club lena ni support ngoba senibuyela nje ema ground nje nihambe niphathe kahle njengoba sashilo na chairman ukuthi asilanzeleni phela indzaba ye COVID ngoba siphethe kahle, sizamele ukuthi sihambeni siyojova sikukhona lo ukuthi sigcwalise lama ground lapha njengoba nathi ukuthi iHighlanders is one of the big teams la khaya, nitogcwala lapha abafana batawujabula sihambe siwini. Sibonge kakhulu ukuthi niyasihlonipha kakhulu, though my emotions ayabe khona sometimes. Mina ngilomunye umuntu elabathanza kumshayela kakhulu, angimind umuntu makathetha noma angangibonisa, but makafuna le information about the club I'm free ngiyamtshela umuntu ukuthi okay nyalo sesibheka le, but nje asambeni ke kwenkunzi emnyama ezamagebhula zagebhula umzwendoda zawushiya nawe asambeni siye grounding.
They have it. That's the invitation. Everything is well. The company, the team will be registered as a company. They have granted the wish of the director. Everything will be well for the sake of benefits of supporters, sponsorship and club licensing. So let's hope for the better future of the team. A short break as I usher them out of the studio, and we're coming in one of the legendary sports journalists in the Kingdom of Eswatini. He has been here once before, back in 2012, 2013, 2014. He's still alive. He's still a journalist. He's going to be in the studio after the break.
bongos tani malanga chocolate no mfo wantito nang tadla tala kabusha nang love bongos
usafaka na 20 rand
kude mina thumane athi
lo gift edike ukusebenzisa utakhonza uphila ubeke singwa etafuleni
Ngina sengimelele umngane wami bese sihamba sophanda.
Shemu ngichashe maye mahle ebonile.
Ngafuna ukuthi le project ingawa ngikhona nami ngoba angisiwe umuntu othandza ukuthi info ingafa ngikhona. Isile life lesiyakiyo umuntu ngangemuntu kuyafuna at least abe nawo 3 ma skills in life.
Mina ngibonga kakhulu ngoba solo ngatsala kusebenza lo msebenzi abadinga ngisupport labantu.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
My name is Libhola Eswatini.
It's your boy DJ Sunday, aka BEC. Catch me and the gang on a brand new show.
Amazing show. I'm so excited about first episode.
Hot new show for Studio One.
As you guys know, we do cover all things music and entertainment. I'm going to be doing the news aspect specifically. Our news is divided into 2 segments. Into international news and then local news.
I'm going to be on the cozy couch hosting all the guests that we have on the show.
Much for joining me on the cozy couch. Your performance, how did you feel about that? I loved it.
honestly I was ecstatic.
I'll be dealing with the hottest videos for the week. At number 1, we have Tenderness featuring Willem Seni for Love Me.
We have the same thing. It's with the both of us.
Number 1 DJ in Africa.
See you every Saturday at 6 p.m.
on Eswatini TV.
Studio One.
Studio One.
Studio One.
Still with you here on Libhola Eswatini, the Thursday edition where we talk about some of the hot topics in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Nasikhuluma ngemidlalo webhola. So vele ula estudio lesingasho ukuthi one of the legendary sports journalists in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Ungamujaje from his outfit. Ngoba nawubuka le outfit ungazicabanga ukuthi khona le team la ikhulumelako in terms of international clubs. His name is Sabelo Nzinisa. Nguvusele mzongo.
Ngiyavusela kakhulu Fabrice, ngibonga kakhulu nalo kunginvite.
Yes.
It's
been long.
It's been long, my man.
Yes.
You know, I think we were recall before. Yeah, lokuthi I was here in 2013.
Yes.
Yeah.
2013 we were broadcasting MTN games. You were here.
Yeah.
We had the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. You were here. You're a legend, man, in this game.
Yeah.
Some of us can't.
Yeah,
we're still
true.
learning from you.
Not true. Thanks, my man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the accolades.
The first article I wrote for a newspaper was published by you.
Exactly.
That's how much of
No,
a
you've got a
is.
good memory, my man.
Eh?
Yeah, you've got a good
Yes,
memory.
okay. No, I think to touch on this issue, so I think personally, you know Ali as a director,
Personal
you know him
friend,
personally,
yes.
and I think your experience, good industry, your journalism, you followed what's been happening. Gumbabane Highlanders.
Of course.
There is a team, we can't hide this. There's always the ups and downs.
Of course.
We'll see the cause is what, we don't know yet sometimes, but there's always the ups and downs.
Yeah.
To you, as a journalist, when you heard of this idea, would see team by register as a club, what came into your mind? And were you support of the idea? What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
It's long overdue. Yeah, it's long overdue, Fabrice. I mean, it's a trend. I think it's what is happening. And besides the like requirements, CAF licensing, of which we know EFA are particular with that. So I think Mr. Homongo is just trying to comply in with the recording. So I mean, I didn't see any fuss about that.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think there was a fuss? Because I know as a journalist, you conduct your own investigation. Maybe what do you think there was a fuss? Sesibuka now, we're outside the club because bekunebantu be-club simuvile alakhuluma. But now ucabanga ukuthi hayi man, kanzi kwendekana Cabo Highlander? Why are they making fuss of this?
Yeah, no, it's disappointing to be honest. Now buka the performance yabo this season. I mean, they've started well. They are enjoying a top form. They are winning games, scoring goals. They don't need the negative vibe. You mean at this time, wrong timing. You know, so I feel the information I think good the maturity somehow because you know the meeting today platforms the very meeting can say I see accurately information and you need to replace the confusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know there's no secret about that. You know this person closely, personally, Ali Homo.
Yeah.
And did he ever talk to you about that?
No, we haven't spoken about it.
That.
Yeah,
about this issue.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
Haven't spoken about it.
No, we haven't.
Now, the issue now is seemingly going to be sorted, but I think his main complaint is the delay. Yeah. Because he said he started mentioning this issue back in June.
Yeah.
December, 6 months. Yeah. And they keep granting me the permission, but okay. Is it a mind game to you maybe?
No, I don't want to believe that because I want to trust Lalakshito Masuko.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because he's speaking on behalf of the patrons.
Yes.
Yeah, the main body in Babana Islanders. So, if the patrons are saying, I'm supporting Mr. Omongwe, I want to believe they do support him. Maybe the delays, my technicalities, we don't know behind the scenes. But I think at the end of the day, Valley Islanders has to comply.
As a big
as a company, so that but to conform with the requirements, cave licensing.
Yes, you've been watching football for a long time, either locally or internationally, and you follow one of the biggest teams in the world.
Yes.
If this is to happen, they register the team as a company. Where do you see the team in terms of benefits, in terms of success and trophies? How is the future of the team if that is to happen?
As it is, I think we'll agree that the future is looking good. Registered as a company. So you can imagine as a registered because you know a company in opportunities whereby you can get sponsors. There are a lot of opportunities. Mr. Homongo is well connected to South Africa. We know that he's a businessman, he's got friends, about the business community as South Africa. So you can get a good sponsor for Highlanders because the thing is it's sponsors, especially at club level. So if here is a guy that he wants to bring that to Highlanders, why fuss over that? So
this is some of the fight pictures. I think one would say last time when he was here, maybe one would say was seeing DU Makanya. They still no. This is fight pictures when he was attending the training session. You can see some of the players, Scarl and everything. This is his passion when you talk about what he wants for the team. He gets to the level where he visits the team even at the training ground to get the job done. So far, one trophy has been won in his leadership, the SPTC, but I think he will be happy to win the league. How is his commitment to this club? How committed is he to the club?
I can't even describe it, man, Fabrice, because meaning I know him personally. And this thing, the Highlanders, taking over Highlanders, I was there. I supported him because
you were there?
Yes, I was there from the word go. You remember? I was sports editor for one of the newspapers. Yes. So I think I know the Highlanders, what it means to him. When he's got a passion for the club for some reason, where it's hands like a code. That's why he's waited patiently because now he was supposed to join the team a long time ago, but there were obstacles, politics, everything. So finally, he was patient enough to wait for the opportunity to come. So he's showing the good hands at the team because he's investing in the team without expecting anything in return. Because returns in terms of profits. So this guy is investing, is paying salaries, is doing everything. Yeah, so I think they need to appreciate that when we're Highlander and support him.
The questions will be there, Sabelo, to say maybe he's not based in the kingdom. He comes from outside the kingdom. He comes and he takes over the team. And then what happens next? I mean, we've seen it in Europe. I mean, Abramovich is from Russia. He comes and he owns Chelsea. And Chelsea, they're doing what they're doing. He's never taken Chelsea back to Russia. So there was no worry of that. So we are being assured that him coming to the club, I mean, to the country and take a club, there is safety. There's nothing to be worried about.
Of course, man. It's a trend. Like you're saying, it's a trend worldwide. Even my team is owned by Americans.
Yes.
But that's an England team.
Yes.
So, I mean, it happens everywhere. So I think we need to move with the times. We can't live in the past, Our league needs to be professional, Fabrice. And for that to happen, our teams be professional. And the professionalism, in our requirements are. Look, for cards to the company.
You were there the last time when they won the league?
Yes, I was there. I was actually covering.
You were covering the game as a sports journalist?
Yes.
That's how long you've been in the industry? That was back in 2000 and, was it 2-1? Somewhere there.
Yeah.
2-1, somewhere there.
No, man, it's 1996.
The league?
When I started writing.
So I'm sure the last time when they won the league?
Yeah, it was 2000.
Yes, that's the last time, yes. Yeah. When I started, yes, I know the history of when you started. I'm saying the last time when they won the league, back in 2001 and 2.
Yeah.
So how was the team then? For them, maybe for a supporter to say, maybe I'm getting the vibes, this could be our season.
Yeah. I think what has been letting Highlanders, in my view, over the head, the politics off the field.
True.
Yeah, I think it's been a serious letdown because the team, the quality of the team, okay, fine, when I saw when they were winning everything.
True.
Because you would have players like the born Highlanders type. Like Botolen, Charles Masang, Tito Mabos, and those big names, players. Boshang the lineup, your opponents, just checking the lineup because they were so strong. That's why at the time Highlanders Konapines na team slang na paya dominate on the Highlander young. You see. So it happens. It's been a trend. The team they perform obviously, but
there you have it. That's so much experience coming from this man, having started to use his pen as a way of expressing his feelings back in 1990 something. I don't want to scare you, but today he's still alive. He still has the passion for journalism. Now, moving on to the topic, the issue of coaches in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Some of the coaches do not want to, fulfill the requirements of Football Association, Coaches Association, and CAF licensing. The coach, there have been complaints. Premier League have the CAF license B or A. And I think the complaints have been, why not registering Coaches Association? Who register Football Association? There is these problems in and out, such that the season has started, but there are complaints. A team is supposed to have head coach, assistant coach, physical coach, and goalkeeper coach. Some of the teams are not following that. And it's a problem. How much is it affecting our football?
It is, of course it is. Because I think my foreign coaches, now you expect to be qualified. It should be a given. They should be better than our coaches. They should bring something, let's say, they on other So, but if they come now, walk-ons by average, then we miss the develop the way we want to develop. So I think the issue it's an old issue. We've seen coaches coming here without qualification. Exactly, but coaching here and some succeeding. So I think that's where the trick is, because labanye they take a chance. We can't look coach where they are corner. We've had coaches labanye by my agents, but forget about my agents, but never coach. You see.
Let's listen to Anthony Mdluli, the chairman of the Coaches Association. What does he think about the issue? They had a press conference yesterday where they explained to the media that now measures are being taken against coaches who have not followed these rules, including coaches coming from outside. This is Mdluli.
Register
lokhu ngiko lokuyingcenye ye preparation yokuthi coach agcine athola li license le coach ngoba le club licensing ithi ukuze uthole i license njenga coach kumele ube lilunga le football association. So lokulunga ne football association ke kuqhamuka through i coaches association. So akusiko ke ukuthi coaches association ifuna ukutakhela emalunga ngokuthi it's bo coach aba register kuyi requirement yale club licensing. So lo coach uba lilunga le football association through i coaches association. Kuzeka to uthola le license ukuthi ama coacher kuyayebhekeke ukuthi lo coach asubmit emaphepha lathide kuleli office le coaches association phinza submit timphepha letithide kuleli office la football association la technical lelibukwe technical director. So ka coaches association uletha ke letimpepha letisho ukuthi so badele wena bulunga bakho baphelela ku coaches association. Uthi ke ngekwenta tonke leto tinfo leto phinze masowutofuna le license usubmit incwadi yokuthi sowuqashiwe wena eclubini lengukuthi lokusho ukuthi you submit copy yale contract yakho njenga coach ukuthi mina ngicashwe iclub lengibani agreement yethu ithini yasho nale club licensing ukuthi lo loqhamuka ngaphandle ufuna abe na qualification lethini kuzato coacha even because ngeke sibheke ukuthi kutawuta umuntu lowly qualified than bantu labakhona even ungabe futhi silulata nale education yethu lokuthi labo bantu labo sigcine sibanike umsebenzi kanzi vele in terms of ema qualification standards bapass. So ema aspirated coaches kude longawafuni siyawafuna sonke because by add a value if they bring experience, if they bring quality coaching. But if they are below the locals, then there is no point in bringing them.
He's the chairman of the Coaches Association, Anthony Mhluri. Yamuva Mzomba uyayichaza kahle ukuthi vele nangabe uqhamuka ngaphandle have a better qualification than what we have, because now ubuya ngaphandle vele you should add something, not coming to learn.
A foreign coach ufuna aqhamuke nento leside yona la kangwane, bring something new. But we've had those foreign coaches lesibakhumbulako Chance Mlambo, yabona there is bo Dominic Nyonzi, Max Mbabane Swallows from I think from your home country. So I think those which home country? No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, I think we need those coaches. Like Francis Banda.
Yes, Francis Banda.
A lot of coaches. Yes, we've seen those coaches. Yes. So I think Libhola yet is craving for those quality coaches. Highly questionable. Yeah, highly questionable. Yeah, are they coaches or agents?
All right. Moving on, M10 Premier League, Bugama results past weekend. So far, Sabelo, what are you seeing in the M10 Premier League? Now Buganje, the results, the way they are going. I mean, now Bugama results, the Bugale table, but Leopard, they are in the league of their own. Naskumangabo Liverpool, England. I think now Bugale Leopard, so far, they are in the league of their own. Highlanders, so far, Singashogutsi Nabo Betagatle, but their draw against Seabeds over the weekend was not something Singashogutsi would maybe be happy. But the game that maybe one was thinking Gutsi Leopard might, slip a bit, the game against Green Mamba, but they managed to win 3-1.
Yeah. I think what we need to acknowledge and accept the Premier League la teams, Royal Leopard at the moment is the team to beat.
True.
Yes, they're in top form. Last season, Wabonabayo win the league. It was almost very easy. So this season, fine, good resistance. We are seeing resistance from the other teams. Particularly when mentioning Babana Highlanders. I think Highlanders, whether they've been the surprise package njengoba ubona bang number 2.
Is it too early, maybe 6 game?
No, it's too early. We can't talk about it, man. It's very, league is a marathon.
But the first round, says Kurumanga first round.
And 16 teams, so it's a lot of games still to play. So I think nyalo singamane sikhulumele kona ngale first round carrot. Yeah, MTN, yeah, 250. Of which then you can start bona kona lana the top 7 teams, I think. Mathematical bane chance we win. Yeah, because the difference at my point is not that much.
Yeah, Bugale Young Buffaloes, they have only won 2 games.
Yes, but Bugaba moved from bottom to where now. Look at Mbabane Swallows. They were struggling nakal. They lost their first 2 games, but Nyalo Seba chagengena go top 4.
Vovo bekunetinkhulumo ukuthi nayiqala season very it's a team to watch.
Yes.
Are you impressed? 6 games, 3 wins?
Yeah, but lesona singakhohlwa ngevovo ukuthi they are newcomers.
True.
Ka Premier League, so we've got to give them credit. Yeah, for them after 6 games, although mancane lama games, but for them to be occupying top 4. That's a huge achievement. I think you need to give credit to the management of the team. They've done well.
Let's look at the table, Sabir. I think there have been a trend about, in Zabema forces. What's your feeling about them? I mean, are you saying maybe Leopard shouldn't be where they are? Because if you remove them, that means you have Highlanders. What's your feeling about this whole issue?
No, the issue, I'm happy to raise them, Fabrice. I think the issue, I address my platforms. I think issue, I have a position in the issue, or it's a non-issue. It's a non-issue. I think what Emma teams, the civilian clubs need to do, they need to get sponsors. And once you get a sponsor, then you are able to compete against Lama teams Langa. Because right now, teams Langa, when you are not improving, when as a club, as
why
a civilian club. I'll make an example. You remember when this one was under
the
late.
Yes.
Number 4 series. The three of them, Premier League. But because Swallows were dominating. Because why? Kamete was able to plan, was able to bring together a strong team, quality players, a good technical bench, about the late cook, a good technical bench, administrative management, sound. Because for proper planning, then you need a sound management committee. Because management committee, they can't plan for games. So I think we need to Highlanders. Good indication that would see management is strong this season. Yeah.
Sundowns, anything? As we look at upcoming games, Young Buffaloes, Tabanguru Keris, what's your take on that game?
Yeah, those games are a bit tricky, especially when now boogie form your Buffalo, though you know about pick up, but you won't say but I win. But on paper, of course, they're favorites. The game there, Green Mamba, Vovo, let's go Vovo Nyalo. In Green Mamba, they're blowing hot and cold. One weekend, but the following weekend, so you can't
rely on
them.
Was it a good move? Maybe we could see, but it's a Dio Makanya.
It was. He's an experienced coach. We know Suga Islander, and he's a former player with Green Mamba.
Yes.
He's a former player with national team. He's experienced. So I think he correctional. Yes, so he understands the culture of the team better than any other coach. So I think he's the right man, maybe with the proper support.
The center stage will be at Mavuso Sports Center on Saturday. Manzini Wanderers will be at home, welcoming newcomers Rangers.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Rangers, surprise, but of late, they've been losing games. Yeah, so I think you Wanderers now boogie for me Wanderers, just like season. This season, whether they look even much better this season. Yeah, so I think
the experience of Palmer now is back at his best.
So I think whether you give it to them, then it was better you win. Then Highlanders Pirates, Highlanders sort of I would say untouchable. Although last weekend they dropped 2 points against maybe unlikely opponents against Seabirds, but this is a game where they need to come back because they can't afford to drop points, especially if Bafuna go under 250 first round. Yes.
Meeting Hotspurs and Tinos. There's something I want to say about Meeting Hotspurs, Sabere Wutsi, the Coaches Association, the Office of the Technical Director under the Football Association. They are happy to say that Meeting Hotspurs so far is following all the requirements in terms of CAF license, in terms of going to inabo coach all the things. Does that shock you? And maybe you look at the management of the club, you are like, they're involved in the football association. So you would think, but maybe Milling Hospitals, maybe doing what they're doing, are they shocking you?
No, they're doing well. I think we need to give them credit, because Logo it's throwing challenge to the other clubs. Laba comply. So I think if a small team like Milling is able to comply with the requirements, the CAF licensing, then could be embarrassing for the bigger teams if they don't comply. I think we need to give them credit. They're doing well.
There are two games, Seabirds, of course, and Mbabane Swallows. What's your take about these two games? But as you also detail more about Mbabane Swallows, they play against Malandi Chiefs, while Seabirds take on Tambuti. Yes.
Okay. Swallows, they look like they're back on top form. Although Xaga be convincing, I think they have not the consistency level. But judging by the performance results, the first two results, I think
what do they have as a problem? Those two games, Manzini Seabirds, of course, Tambuti Swallows and Malandi Chiefs. Maybe just a bit of a correction. It's Seabirds, Tambuti at 12, then at 3:30 Mbabane Swallows. Just to correct the time there. It's written 3 and 2:30. It's to correct the time. Seabirds, Tambuti, it's at 12, Swallows, Malandi Chiefs, it's 3:30. What's their main problem, Mbabane Swallows? Because they have got everything. They've got strikers, they've got midfielders, they have got goalkeeper. Is it the issue of technical bench, or maybe now Buganje through experience as a journalist, they are lacking leadership in the team, or is there anything that need to correct? What's their main problem? They should be where Leopard is.
Yeah, I know. You've touched on Nkansi Islam because we know your ambition in Mbabane Swallows, and I think it's an open secret because their president has made no secret ukuthi ufuna kuyibona idlala eAfrica. But now ubuka lendlela abaqale ngayo, then uba nama doubts ukuthi can they achieve that? Because they need to start winning games convincingly. They need to be at the top. They can't dream about the Africa Cup or CAF when they're still losing games to smaller teams. You kind of, if you win a league like Angwani, Premier League, then you've got to beat the competing teams like Leopard. But if you lose to those teams, then you say Hamile the league kanjalo.
Oh, they're a big team, because another team I wanted to touch on before we go, Sundowns, Denver Sundowns. They have been having problems now, Babu, in terms of their performance. What's happening? Because it's a team. We know that when it comes to troubling some of the opponents, they're always there. You give them a chance just to finish in the top 4. What's their main problem?
I think the Sundowns, the challenge of Sundowns is that they are not able to keep players. I think it's been a trend. They're almost like a feeder teams to the other teams. Once the other teams like Bo, Swallow Islanders see a good player like Sundowns, BAM recruit, and the Sundowns have to start afresh. So it's a good at a consistency which they can keep the same team, because if they're able to do that, the Sundowns, the Sundowns of the past, being True. They had to beat a plans.
Maybe that's why they came back to the name Denver Sundowns, because that's when then they were performing.
Yes, because they were not losing those players. Those players were they were passionate about the club. They were playing for the club. I think Sundowns, say who will play for the club, for the shirt, the Sundowns shirt.
Right. Sisavala, there is a new management in the local football. Mr. Samora Siavala, but I want your opinion. Samora is in the office. We've been talking about people who will take football forward. And you've maybe been under different administration. You as an experienced journalist, at your own view, can Samora move us to the right direction, take us to AFCON, probably at some point, maybe dreaming the FIFA World Cup? Because the issue is my facilities, but my issue facility. Can he change the image of Football Association?
Yeah, I think the advantage with Samora, to be honest, I would say he's owning a club, a football club. I think that's very important. So he understands the man needs a ball. He's a former soccer player, first division. And besides, he served the committees. He served in FA, he served FA executive. So he's highly experienced. And now what are my credentials outside, yes, outside the Poland. Then it just makes him the right candidate for the position. But it's not all about that. It's all about delivery. So I think at the end of the day, sembukile umngundo ukuthi asekasilethele something lensha lebesingayiboni laba labebakhona kule school. Like in the slang that we said a simple thing. Something that has been disappointing me. Slang city sponsor. You have won a national team. And you expect Sihlangu to perform at international level without a sponsor. It's impossible. So I think the challenge as president, he needs to utilize the connections as a business to get a sponsor for the national team. Then
this man needs to come back. He owes us more explanation about local football and what he has to do, what he thinks needs to be done to ensure that football grows. Man, for your time, and stop hiding, man. We need your expertise as one of the legendary journalists in the field of play.
I know, thanks, man. Fabrice. It was nice to be here and enjoy it, man.
All right, and we hope that this is not the last time where you have to see him. I have to let him go. We have to close because I'm sure he's rushing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. They are playing English Premier League. He's rushing to watch the team. Otherwise, it was Libhola Eswatini. Until we meet again.